These are the funniest test answers from children. Starting off with this one. What ended in 1896? Well, this child wrote 1895. I mean, I guess he's not wrong. Now, this child called Hope was asked to name some shapes. Now, the first one was named Bob. I mean, I guess it looks like a Bob. Number 2 was named Sam. That's a Sam-looking shape right there. Over to number 3. That's a Harry. That's a Harry. Whoa. I don't know why it's a Harry, but it's a Harry. Now, number 4, Teddyson. And then 5 was Kate. It's a whole family. Now, this one was an extra credit question. What is the strongest force on Earth? And this kid just wrote love. Can someone check on this kid? I mean, the teacher just completely crossed it out, which is kind of brutal, to be honest. Imagine sending that back to a child and being like, no love for you. So this one from Peter's a little bit hard to understand at first. But he's been asked to expand A plus B N. So he did it. He did it a little bit. He expanded it a little bit more. And then he just really expanded it. And that was his answer. The teacher even wrote, very funny, Peter. But I think he probably thought that was correct. And at least he showed his working. Now, there's a picture of a man with a newspaper and a dog. And I guess this kid had to fill in the gap. So the gap was the man, gap, the dog, and I think the options were fit or hit. Obviously fit doesn't work, but this kid wrote pets, and then under it wrote, you should not hit dogs. And I respect this kid. I see nothing wrong with this. Now, this is a billion IQ move right here. The question was, write an example of a risk, and well, the kid wrote this. I mean, that was a risky move, but did the teacher tick it? Yes, they did. So the risk paid off. Now, we've got some homework here in which they need to assume the role of a Chinese immigrant in 1870. And they need to write a letter home describing their experiences. The letter should include the following: your contributions and experiences in the West. There's some weird vibes coming off this question. Anyway, what did they write? Well, I mean, it would be unlikely the Chinese immigrant would be writing in English, so they, I guess, wrote it how I guess they think it would have been. I'll be honest, this was impressive. If they didn't get points for this, I'd be shocked. Hard and soft water. Now, the question is to briefly explain what hard water is. Well, that's pretty obvious. It's ice. I mean, look, technically not wrong, but technically not right. Now, I think this one is kind of stretching it. We've got a calculation here that we have to find the answer to. This student, however, just decided to just like cross out the bits that they didn't like, cross out the bits that were a bit inconvenient, and then what was left over is just 6. So they wrote equals 6. Yeah, this kid is not going far. Here we have poor little Frankie. Frankie's been asked to explain how they make money at home. However, Frankie's a realist. Frankie understands the situation that they're in and just wrote, I don't. And they even went as far to actually explain why they don't. They just straight up said, I'm a freeloader. I don't care. I just get free stuff and I like that. To be honest, this one is a classic. You gotta find X. X is right there. It's not complicated. It's not rocket science. It's right there. Just look at it. You can look at it yourself, you dumb teacher. Dumb teacher. Now here the student's been asked to find the difference between 180 and 158. They wrote 22. But then the follow-up question is, explain how you found the answer in problem 4. Well, they just said math. I mean, they're not wrong. I imagine they're being asked to actually say how they worked it out. But at the same time, it's not really like a complicated question. So I can see where you're coming from with that one. Where was the American Declaration of Independence signed? At the bottom, dummy. Everyone knows you sign at the bottom. You don't sign at the top. Okay. Tony practices the piano 20 minutes every single day. Wow, Tony, really cool. The effect of that is, well, he's a big nerd. So let's suppose you want to change centimeters into meters. It's a calculation that you might need to make. But this child decided, not today. I don't have Siri. I don't have a calculator. I'm just going to take the word centi out of centimeters and then you've got meters. To be fair, would it make more sense if they actually asked a calculation of like, what is 100 centimeters in meters or something like that? If you ask for the bare minimum, you get the bare minimum. Explain the phrase free press. When your mum irons trousers for you. Sorry, buddy, but you might think that was free, but you wait until mum is retired and a little bit older. It ain't free. It's a long-term investment from your mother. Trust me, they'll be coming back for that. They will come to collect on that debt. Draw a picture of what you will look like in 100 years. Well, Warren is a realist. Warren understands that Warren's just probably gonna be not alive. So Warren just drew a picture of a headstone and wrote RIP on it. Straight to the point. I respect it. Don't be too ambitious, Warren. Now, I'm not really sure why children are being asked such in-depth questions as this, but how would you make a marriage work? Yeah, anyway, they replied, tell your wife she looks pretty, even if she looks like a dump truck. To be fair, if they adjusted this to say that she has a dump truck, it might have more luck. But looks like a dump truck, yeah, that's not going to get you very far. So here we're going to be teaching some children about problems and solutions. How to find solutions to problems. The problem we have here is you fell on the playground and scratched your knee. Boo-hoo. The solution, get up and deal with it. You loser? This kid's had an interesting upbringing. We're gonna keep it real simple with this one. In a word, describe school. Straight up, hell. Not even a small hell, like a big hell. Like hell enough to fill the gap hell. This kid's got some culture. Why are there rings on Saturn? And the kid wrote, because God liked it. So he put a ring on it. Because if he liked it, then he should have put a ring on it. Oh? I like the teacher just replied, Saturn was not a single lady. Nothing else, just said that. I guess they got it wrong. Aw, this little kid got sick, so they wrote a letter to their teacher. Dear Mrs. Clark, I heard you did not feel good. Well, when that happens, here's a trick to learn. Tuss go poop? I am not kidding. It works with me. Every morning, I feel so... Sorry. I felt so bad. So Tuss, remember, when you feel bad, the first thing you do is poop. And if that wasn't enough, we've got an illustration. Teacher, I don't feel good. I've got it. Teacher, do poopy? Yeah. What is the best estimate? To the length of a football? 1 foot, 4 foot, 5 foot, 8 foot? Don't be silly. 1 foot. Ball. 1 foot ball. Yes. Remember when you had to get your teacher to sign things for you randomly for like no reason? I think everyone's either thought about faking it. Actually, probably most of you have faked their parent's signature at least once. Well, this kid didn't really think about it that far, and they just straight up just wrote mum. I don't think that's the parent's signature. I think this kid's gotten a little bit confused there. And now we have a challenge to guide Davy Bones to his treasure. Let's begin. Okay, we're gonna go up here, down here. Oh no, we're stuck. Okay, we're gonna go back up and then down, left, round, up, down. Okay, good. Up here, down, left, up, right, left. Okay, down, and we got it! We got the treasure! Wait a second, this kid just drew a line straight there. Oh, why didn't we think about that?